Hello. Looking back on 1992, that's when it all started. My heart and my mind were wide open. I was open to anything and just going for it. And then that's when I was offered this part in this play. And so I went for it. The director and the screenwriter were both hearing, and they offered a friend of mine, Aaron Olson, another deaf colleague of mine, a part in this play. So we went for it and we struggled at it and we tried to make it work. But it seemed like that we couldn't get the deaf and the hearing world to come together. So we were ready to give up. And that's when they both were really adamant to keep us on, to find some way that we could stay on in some capacity as maybe give our feedback or consulting, give our advice. And so we decided, okay, fine, we go to this hangout, this coffee shop where deaf people, older deaf people go, and called Soho. So we get there and we're looking around, trying to talk to people, get some advice, someone who's got experience with this kind of thing. And that's when Cindy Safford's, she says, yeah, I know someone, Chuck Baird. And I was like, what? I thought he was an artist only. That was it. Just painting and that kind of thing. She says, no, he's done everything. He's a very accomplished performer. He's been everywhere. So I'll see if I can get him to come next Friday. So I thought, great. I hope he comes. So next Friday I show up and he's there. So I start talking to him and picking his brain and, of course, exchanging some jokes. And so he said, sure, I'll come. So he comes to my next rehearsal and he sits there and he just watches as I'm rehearsing and fumbling through my part. And he doesn't say anything until the right time. He comes over and he starts talking to me, giving me feedback. I don't remember exactly what he said, the details that he said to everybody there. The only thing I remember, though, is the feeling that I had, the absolute clarity. I could see clearly that this man was a real teacher. Finally, I mean, his point of view on things, I mean, he was talking to the director and making changes and giving him points of view and pointers and the screenwriter and the script and to the cast members. And Aaron and I, we were just having fun with the script. And he says, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to just, you want to use that in your poem. And I said, you can do that? He says, yeah, go for it. And so we started incorporating the poems into the script at various places and really started enjoying this. And I realized this is true art, real art. So we were doing this for about a month. We did this play for about a month. And I really felt so fortunate because before this, I had gone to different galleries and looked at different paintings and I would think about them and ponder them. But after Chuck Baird, talking with him and seeing his approach and his thoughts and his words of wisdom, I could see things in his paintings and in other paintings in at a much deeper level. I remember getting excited now, wanting to do vlogs, and I wanted to know, I wanted to say something that was poignant, something that had to do with art that was right on, not just babbling. So I wanted to talk about my experiences and my upbringing, seeing my dad and his film work, and my mom and doing her doing art and crafts, and my own experiences in school and tinkering with art. I wanted to use those experiences and put that into my vlogs and talk about that. And that's when I found out the really terrible news. I had heard that Chuck Baird was going to have to face this big challenge, this big fight for his health. And so right away I thought, okay, yeah, I have, I've got this amazing tree that I've grown into. I'm a big tree, if you will, from Chuck. I don't know when I'll see him again. And then I saw him at National Deaf Expo. I bumped into him and he says, so how you doing? Are you ready to go? I mean, what are you doing? So I seized the opportunity to talk to him and gave him my ideas on what I was doing. He didn't like it, and so I tried to explain to him some more and talk to him about his experience and how he got involved in art and painting. And he told me that he got into it because there were older people that were open to telling him about their experience and their journey. And he was fascinated with that. And that's how he got into art and really got into loving art and performing and grew into a tree, if you will. And that's how it goes. That's how it works. Trees, there's an allegory. Trees, or it's a metaphor. Trees give off fruit, and people enjoy that fruit. It's delicious to eat and enjoy, and you give back water, and that way you get more trees. And trees live a long time, but they also die. So you never know when that's going to happen, but a few people will take those fruits and keep the seeds and ponder them. But even fewer people will take those seeds and replant them so that they grow again. They take the helm and really make it their own and take action. So I'm learning this from Chuck, but this also came from people before him, and I want to pass this on to people after me. So I decided that I wanted to make this vlog and talk about all this, and I just wasn't ready yet. And then, boom, that's when it happened. Chuck decided to leave us, and I was so bummed. I wanted to do the vlog. I wanted to do this before he left. And I remember that day he passed away. I went ahead and painted this portrait of him. This story, I was thinking about what to do. I decided to go ahead and talk to about 150 people that came to my gallery, my 7240 gallery event. And all the people there were listening to my talk. There were a couple Frenchmen who came over from Europe, from France, and they gave me this honorary medal. And it's of Le Pay. And they said, no, you sign it like this, Le Pay. And I was just truly honored. Here they are. I felt just floored. My journey up until this time, this is where I've come. I've really made progress. I've really come a long way. And the most important thing out of this story is understanding true love. Love, giving back and keeping the story, keep carrying on this love. And I'm looking forward to the next generation and these new seedlings growing into trees as well.